In our interview, I spoke with a macroeconomic policy analyst on the back of the latest inflation rate as against the brief of the economic management team to the president, who says the economy is looking good. Professor Ken Ife, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for inviting
Let's
me.
now assess the president's, comment. Was he right about the state of the economy after he received briefing from the economic management team?
I think he's entitled to be as optimistic as he was, because there is recovery. There's absolutely no doubt. Everybody agrees that there's recovery in the economy, that we've gone through the worst patch, and we can see light at the end of the tunnel. But where we are all divergent is the strength of the recovery, the resilience of the economy, and how quickly we will be up to speed.
For clarity's sake, the president said things are looking up after 2 years of his administration. Is that really correct?
Things are looking up because the worst is over in terms of the indices, most of the indices. Because it's not just that we are actually coming out of recession, because the definition of recession is 2 consecutive drop in GDP quarters. Yes. Now we have had 2 consecutive uptick in GDP. So you can technically say that we're coming out of it. But American definition is broader. It says there also has to be a general improvement in all the macroeconomic indicators, or most of the macroeconomic indicators. And there are many macroeconomic indicators that are positive and looking good. You saw the forex stability. You saw the accretion onto our reserve. Employment is somewhere is being tackled, so it's not getting as worse as it was like 2 years ago and last year. Then the debt situation, okay on the foreign debt, but problematic on the domestic debt, and it's because the revenue, the collection of the revenue is lower than was expected. So the repayment, the ratio is a much higher, crossing the red line of 40%. But I'm sure that with the action of the inland revenue and the customs, they will rebalance the situation. So there are areas that some banks, about 4 of them, have liquidity issues and need to be recapitalized. But the risks are there. But you cannot say that we're not recovering. We are recovering, but we could do better.
You see,
and the CBN is very aggressive, as you could see, in the wider mandate area. Is very aggressive.
You see, when you paint this picture, it looks quite positive. But again, when you look at the real deal, how Nigerians are coping right now, when you look at food prices, rate of unemployment, then you realize that not much is, not much is being benefited by Nigerians.
Yeah.
When this looks up and this is looking gloomy, so where is that disconnect right now?
Well, we come to the same thing. You say there is growth, but it's not inclusive because it doesn't put food on the table. Let me tell you about the inflation concern that you just raised and the impact on food prices. The food prices have gone up. All the elements in the food basket retail have gone up. But that is not the same. If you look at the core indices, excluding volatile food, all of them are trending down. But the thing is that the issue around food are so complex. A substantial part of Northeast is not producing. And this is the particular time of harvest where the inflation is supposed to dip down, but it's not. Not only that a good number are not producing, they are also going to be fed. Wherever they are, whether they're in IDP camp or in Abuja, they have to be fed. Our growth rate is 2.4%. Our urbanization rate is 4.85%. So over the last 2 years, we've grown by nearly 10% in terms of urbanization and nearly 5% in terms of population growth. And yet a significant number that produce the grains and some of the crops, a lot of the crops on the basket are just not there producing. Now, the third thing is this: our currency. We are surrounded by 5 French countries,